Welcome everybody to How Do They Do That Live, the March Madness edition. We have another great round of presenters for you. But before we get into that, I just would like to remind you of our virtual PD norms. We do ask that you guys register in that PD catalog prior to the day of training. We send out those Teams links the morning of the training. We encourage you to participate with your camera on so we can all have a great collaborative conversation. We ask that you are engaged throughout the entire presentation. We do appreciate you being here on time, so thank you so much for that. I know for myself, it was just at a meeting that I was coming from, it was just a very near on time here, but I'm also on time. We do ask that if there is any exit activity, that you complete that during the workshop. And then if you are classified, that you make sure to modify your workday so that you aren't double dipping as far as workday and PD hour compensation. Just a quick introduction here. We have a lot of great presenters for you today, but as always, the EdTech team is kind of working hard behind the scenes to help make a lot of this happen. So this is our EdTech team here with Matthew Ketchum as our director, myself and Angela as trainers, Rachel Johnson as our fabulous EdTech coach, and Armando Arviso doing all the great work behind the scenes as our technology technician. And we want to just make sure that everything we do aligns with that instructional core model. And this session does align with supporting all learners. And we want to make sure that our work aligns with the MCS vision as well. I think I've read this to you guys enough throughout the years, so we'll just go ahead and dive on into our agenda. As I mentioned, we have great presentations for you today. We are first going to start with just some quick housekeeping. And then we'll dive into Cami with Jessica and Dee Campbell. Then we'll hear from Kim Van Horn about Quizizz Accommodations, and we will learn about new creative tools with Adobe Express at the end. So just a couple final housekeeping things before I turn our time over to our lovely presenters. If you do have questions, there is a chat for you. I do have mics locked just because we are a big group today, and I want to make sure that we are able to get through the presentations. That said, put all questions in the chat. We will make sure to respond to them as we can, either also in the chat or live. And then what happens is I mark attendance tomorrow. After I mark attendance, I send out that email. And in the email, I'll include the resources from today. I'll include this slide deck, which has links to all of our fabulous presenter slide decks. All right. And without further ado, I'll go ahead and turn it over to Jessica Ward and Dee Campbell, and they will be presenting on Cami features for us. So there is a link to their deck here, but if you guys want to go ahead and share your screen when you're ready, you are welcome to.
All right, Jessica, you going to share or?
You can go ahead and share since you are showing your part first, unless you want to switch it up.
Let me go to. All right, is that good? You guys can see that? All right.
Looks good.
So Jessica and I attended the ETC conference and we learned some new features that are now incorporated into the Cami app. So we wanted to share those. We thought they were kind of cool. So we want you to know that you can access Cami through the extension or the website. And in Cami, we can incorporate Google Docs, slide sheets, and it's all saved and housed within your Google Drive. Jessica, you can also jump in anytime. She's way better at this than me. We can assign Cami through our Schoology platform, which we have, and we can use Canva to create things that then feed into Cami, which we can use for all of the things we're going to show you today. In fact, we did some of that. Jessica, you want to add anything there?
I just wanted to jump in and mention that even though Cami does work with OneDrive, since our students all have Chromebooks, there's a lot of random issues if you use OneDrive. So it seems like it works more flawlessly in my classes if I just do it all through Google Drive.
Perfect. Okay. The first thing we'd like you all to do is to take this access code if you can. I know some of you are using phones and stuff like that right now, but can you go to Schoology and join our Schoology course? So, and if you can't, it's okay. We have other ways that we can do this. Sorry, I'm trying to. There we go. So you go to courses, and then right over here, you'll go to my courses, and then you'll go join a course. And that code is right here.
And it's in the chat so they can copy and paste it now.
Thank you. Oops. All right. Let's see. Let me go to members. Oh, look at you guys. Good job. So fast. All right. So on that home page there where materials is this first button that we'd like you to click on, the collaboration tool. And what we're going to show you now is the fact that within Kami, we can have our students collaborate on one piece of a document, and this can happen like live, like we're teaching and the kids are debating, and we can pull up something live, share it with them, and they can start collaborating. So we're going to show you something like that. So if you click on that tool there, or that collaboration tool, it'll redirect you. So then we'll hit continue right here, and we should all now be in this document. I see up here some collaborators that we have that are joining us. And when I click on them and I look here, these are all the people who are now in this document. And so all of you can now go over here and you're going to debate. So choose one of these little boxes, make it your own. And we're going to go text box. Rachel's already new. We'll go text box, and we can add our text box here. And you're going to decide, is a hot dog a sandwich? And so you can start doing that here. Some are getting creative. Love it. And another item that I would like to show you, Jessica, where do I go? Up here? No.
To show, yeah, view the annotation summary. I'm not sure why yours isn't showing it. Let me see if mine is.
Oh, right here? No. Oh, right here.
Yeah, right there.
I
There you
can tell
go.
who's making what comments right here. I can see all the comments, and it's got the history. I can delete a comment if I need to. And right now, I believe that go ahead and try to let me get rid of that. I don't know how to get rid of that. Try to do something to someone else's comment. Can you throw their comment in the garbage? Can you edit their comment at all? And then where is it, Jessica?
What are we looking for?
The tools.
To turn the tools off?
Yeah.
We go into share, and
there they are. Feature control.
Feature control, and turn them all off. I did
Let me
this
show
to my
that
class
again for
today. It
you.
was super fun.
Okay, so if we go to share, and I'm like, okay, I can tell you guys are done, and we need to stop all of this. I turn off all the features. This little guy keeps, and then I hit OK, and now you guys go ahead and try. You should, on that left side of your screen, you shouldn't have any of these tools that I see right here now.
Quick question, Dee. When you go to share, if you make everyone a viewer, does it make it so we can't edit our own box too? I want to see while we have people in here if that works. Nope, I can still edit my own box. Okay, just wanted to check it out. Wasn't sure. Oh, you have to click the button at the bottom still. Click OK.
No, it doesn't have it.
Oh, it doesn't have it. Okay, never mind then. So go back to, okay, cool. Just wanted to try, because the one catch is that you guys can still edit what's in your box. So I kind of worry about that a little bit with students. So when I assigned it with kids today, I actually, hopefully they closed it, but I actually set the links to unpublished in Schoology when I was no longer monitoring them.
And if I see something that I don't like I'm, who did this picture, I can click on that picture. I can delete that picture if I need to, or what somebody wrote. I can also see right here who wrote that comment. And so we can have everybody collaborating at once. I'd like to show you really quickly, because we're splitting our time, how quickly I did this. So if I just went to Cami, and I'm going to go to Cami Library, I can search over here for all kinds of tools, or collaboration pieces, or anything I want to collaboration. And maybe I'm gonna pick this one. I can open that with Cami. And what I do now, so that was as quick as it was. Now it's ready to go. So the only thing that I have to do now, that one we had a link already in Schoology. We wanted to show you that you could have it set up that way. But if I just got this and I want to drop our ideas in the group and I want to do it that quickly, then I just hit share, and then I just have the kiddos go and take that code that it gives you right here. And now you guys can all get into this one, except that is white.
Oh, and Dee, there's a QR code too. If you're having people do it from their phone, I noticed that too. So you could also share a QR code, or if they're able to scan it. I don't know if the Chromebooks work well like that. I know our Windows 10 devices did not scan code, so I don't know if the kids can scan with their Chromebooks or not. But it's super fast.
So there's another one that we did really fast that you guys could get into and start doing this one. And so it's just that fast that we can have kids start collaborating. Any questions on this little feature? Because Jessica's going to go into some other features here in a second. All right, Jessica, your turn.
All right, let me see. I haven't shared my screen in Teams in a really long time. I'm going to try not to have distance learning flashbacks here. Let's see. All right, we're in the right place. It's on Dee's document right now. I cannot get to all my stuff because this is in the way. Okay, so you guys are in the course already. So what I wanted to show you first, let me go to my slides really quickly here. So let me scroll through. Where'd it go? Here it is. So I'm going to go over Questions AI and the insights that go along with that. I knew they had this AI tool. It was really glitchy with Schoology. I found some bugs. They worked on it. It's a lot better. But I didn't realize until I went to ETC that there is like this great data part. So if you guys want to watch more of this later, you can. But just while I'm talking, there should be a little animation in the background that kind of shows some options. So you can convert a document with AI, or you can have it like look through and come up with questions for you. Or you can type in your own questions with the question tool. And I'm going to show you guys how to do that. I do want to mention something. So this will be shared later if you want to look for more details. I've got some links here. But I do want to mention that when we are assigning these documents in Kami with the tools I'm going to show you with the Questions AI, we have to make sure we add it this way, not under Add Assignment. We have to add it like this. So we have access to all the features. The only catch is that right now we don't get submission notifications, which is just a glitch with any of the Schoology LTI tools. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and open up Kami. So I just clicked my Kami extension, and I'm gonna, instead of clicking down here, I like to just start fresh with my document on my computer. So I'm gonna open my document here, and I just have a worksheet I downloaded from our math curriculum, Savis. I'm gonna make a new copy of it. So it uploaded it, and then I moved my toolbar over here. I'm going to click the Question AI tool, and I'm going to have it convert this document because it already has problems on it. I'm going to have it convert it into auto grading questions. So I just clicked whatever the default is, and I just click convert. And then it takes just a little bit. But you guys can see this is the sort of document that lends itself really well to automatic grading because it's like vocabulary. This has 4 possible choices, so that goes really well. And this is the kind of thing where you really just want to see, are the kids getting it or not, without spending a ton of time. So it went ahead and did it. It is AI, so there are probably going to be mistakes. So you just kind of scroll through and double check. So the first one, okay, that is the correct answer they marked. Second one looks good. I'm not going to double check every single one because I want to get to the data parts. And I already have another copy of this that I made for you guys to actually go into and try to answer so that we can see the data. But I just want to show you a little overview of how we get this started.
How quick it was that we
do you guys see how quick it created it though? So then you just, you need to double check stuff. And then it took me a while to figure this out, but I was like, oh, I can just take this, I can drag it to where I want it. And then I tell it display on page. I like it to show answer only. And when it's fill in the blank vocabulary, I like to make it a drop down. And then I just make the box the right size. And bam, look, there it is. There's the first one right there. Like that was so easy. So I thought that was super cool. And then you could do that for the others. I'm going to go to...
Thank you for the clap.
Oh, and if I go too fast, you guys tell me. I talk super, super, super fast. You guys that know me know that's just what I do. So if I'm going too fast, please let me know. I want to make sure we get into the data part though, because that is amazing. So I'm just going to go through and say one of these that's multiple choice. Let me drag number 5 over. So I scroll down. I've got it display on page, show answer option only, which is what I like to do. You could also tell it to just, where is the setting? If it doesn't display on page, you can have it just show a flag, which I'll show you in a minute. But I drag this over and you can change it so that it's actually in multiple columns. So with this assignment, I felt like this one fit really well like this. And then look, I just pasted it right on top of the answer choices, basically. Nice. And then I look and say, okay, that is the right answer. Awesome. And I know there's a wrong answer somewhere in here, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. If you want to preview the student view, you can click right here.
I think it was your question 7 when it said
Yeah,
greater
I
than
think
8.
so. I think it was. So now we're previewing the student version, which again, I don't have them all in there yet because I want to get to the data part and I'm trying to keep an eye on time and I see it's already 4:06. But you preview it there. I always do that because with Schoology, it doesn't update the score quite right if you have to fix your answer key later, but it's kind of okay. How do we get to the document? I'm not sure what document you're asking about.
Oh, we just uploaded any document.
Yeah, it's any document that you want. So I'm just showing you guys how we could create it, and then I will go through the steps to add it into Schoology. Let me see, is this the one? There we go. That one was wrong. So I just fixed it really quickly, and then that's fixed. So then what I would do once I'm done, I would go to my course in Schoology, and we go add, like I showed you on the slide, Cami. And then I go to my Google Drive where it just uploaded it, and this is a disaster up here. So let me see if I can find my most recent. It is this one right here. And then I can select it, and I wanted to show you guys feature control. So as a mom of a 7th grader who got in trouble for pasting random Google images and other people's documents, I was like, hey, you know what? I am so glad Cami has feature control. So I go in here and I have everything turned off right now, but what I do is I normally leave it all on and then it saves your setting for the next time. I turn off the ad media because I don't want them on YouTube most of the time. I don't want them searching for images. I know for certain things that's appropriate, but for most math stuff, I'm not doing that. And I usually turn all the support features on. So I do that, and then I tell it okay, and it remembers the options. And then you can turn on assessment mode. And assessment mode is amazing because it will automatically submit everybody's. So if you don't get notifications when things are turned in, it's nice to have a final date that the rest all just sent to you and you grade whatever's there. And if they didn't get it, at least they're getting something versus a 0 if you go check it on that date. So I like to, I'll just throw in something like that. Throw in a time, great. And it attaches it. What I'm going to do now, I'm not going to share this one with you. What I am going to do is the one that I do have in here. Let me unpublish the sample one I just showed you. You guys are going to click on the one that says sample questions AI assignment to view insights. And I'll put the link to that in the chat also. So you guys are going to click on that document and you're just going to start doing it as a student. And while you're working on this as a student, I'm going to show you guys how you can see the data. So I'm going to open up class view. And it should be showing me that you guys are joining. And there's
Nobody's there yet.
Oh, people are there. I have it by
They're
default set to
progress.
show the ones that are submitted. So it shows you guys working in there. So if you could just start clicking some answers, it doesn't even have to be right. Just start clicking some answers.
But notice how this is very Jamboardy or Pear Decky. We can see all of you working in real time on this one document.
And if you want to have like a more concise summary of how everyone's doing, let me see here. I go to answers and then summary view. So once I do answer summary view, you can kind of see who's getting which problems right and who's not. And if you click insights, this is super cool. Like once, they've all turned it in, or as you're going, it lets you see the top scores, median scores, lowest scores. You can kind of see the distribution of the scores. You can see the class average so far as you're working on it. And then you can actually go see what percentage has each problem completed and how many got it correct.
Jessica, I have a question. Can the student click it more than once? You know, like what if they got it wrong? Do they know they got it wrong?
It doesn't tell them that they got it wrong, but what I did today, I modeled this with one of my classes. So I'm going to click over and you're going to
So
see
maybe-
actual class data, but you won't see their names because I have it in this other view. Hold on. I have like, nope. I'm not doing that. It's not popping up in the right view. I don't want to
Real
risk
quick
it.
too, Jess. This is
Yes,
Rachel.
sorry.
I submitted mine. I just clicked and just gave a bunch of
Okay,
answers.
awesome.
But then I went back to it and I unsubmitted it and I could change my answers. So that's also
okay. Okay, cool. So
I
think,
didn't know my result. I didn't know my result.
Yeah.
Didn't grade it, but I could go back and say no. I
that
kinda
makes sense.
pulled
I
around,
think
so now I want to try again. So
part of assessment mode is that it locks into it that once once the due date's passed, I think they can't get it back without you returning it. Or maybe it's just once I grade it. I haven't had like enough people to really test this out on. But what I want to show you guys, one more thing really quickly, because my time is pretty much up and I don't want to cut into anybody else's. This sharing thing for Teams is like getting in my way though. Okay, so I can just go to somebody's and I click auto grade and it gives them a grade based on how many they got right.
Nice.
And maybe you don't want it out of 7. So if you made the assignment out of 10 and you see they got all 7 right, you might say, oh, that's a 10 out of 10. Like that's what I did with one class. So you can just go through auto grade. And then this will show right up in your Schoology gradebook if you have it set for a
It
category
syncs
that you can
automatically.
handle.
Nice.
I think I covered everything super, super fast, and I hope it made sense. Do you guys have questions?
There was one more feature we wanted to show you. Is kind of similar to this, where you could put up and use it like a whiteboard. So the kids can be all writing, but we didn't have time for it. But it's a feature that's there also.
Yeah, so we put it bonus.
You may show us.
Go ahead and show you. Okay, so do you want me to stop sharing, Dean? Did you want to show that?
I don't know if
you want
I'm
me to,
brave
I mean,
enough.
I can just.
Go ahead.
Okay, let me see if I can wing it. I was like, I don't know if we can. We put all the directions here just in case though. Let's see what we can do. Okay, so blank whiteboards. All right.
You have that addition document?
Hold on, I got a million tabs. Let me see what I can do here. So I think if I'm doing this wrong, let me know. But I think what we were doing is I was just gonna go Cami Library and
the addition worksheet.
the addition. I don't know where we put that.
Just pull one up right there.
I'll just pull something. Yeah. Oh, here we go. Great. We'll open this with Cami. All right, so I'm not turning on assessment mode. My feature control, when I click on it, is the same as I left it before because I told it remember options. So I'm going to go ahead and attach it. When it's done, it should automatically publish it and put it right in the course in Schoology for you guys to click on. So I just have to like tell it enable grading real quick. And now it's there. So it says number line 0 through 10. I'll paste the link in the chat too, though, for anyone who is able to get to that faster. So I didn't choose a blank document, but I definitely could have. And so this is where this is very, it makes me think of Pear Deck, where you can look and see everybody's screens in real time. And this just reminded me, I usually tell it open in a new tab or open in a new window so I have a little bit more space. I forgot to show you guys, I turned that setting on. But so now I can just look and see how people are working basically, and they can write on it like a whiteboard.
Yeah, you can write on it using your pen feature that's off to the side there.
Like I could even say, oh, it looks like she needs a little bit of help. So, hey, Anoon, go ahead and draw your number line work however you want to, but here's a hint, this is where you should land. Or I might look and see that someone else is doing a great job and maybe I want to throw a sticker in. So you go add media and then there's stickers down here. Like right here. Oh my gosh, they got that right. Big progress there. So you can kind of give that feedback as you go. It reminds me, I forgot that other website that the Swan coach really likes to share. I I can't remember the name of it, but like it's very similar to this. Do you know what I'm talking about, Matthew or Rachel or Dee? No, okay. Swim coach Nancy really pushed it a few years ago. I can't think of what it's called, but you know what I'm talking about, right, Dee?
That's old school.
I'm thinking, if I'm thinking right, and Matthew may correct me, but I'm thinking maybe formative.
Nope.
But and so you could see it all right there and you could draw on it. But
yeah, and the stickers were a big one with that one. So I really like that we can do that with Cami. All right. So we are like way past our time, right? So we need to move on to the next person. So I need to stop sharing.
Very good, though. Those were so awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, you guys did a great job. Thank you.
That was really neat. I just the thought that you could scan a worksheet, right?
Yeah.
And then you could use that AI tool in Cami to now make it digital and interactive and auto-graded. That's fantastic.
Yeah, I think Cami will do the OCR when you first scan it. And then once that's done, maybe then it can pull from there for the AI, I hope.
Yay.
Great job. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. And totally great that you went over. I think it was really cool to see that whiteboard piece too. Up next, though, we do have Quizizz Accommodations, which is a really cool feature. And we have Kim Van Horn. Kim or Kimberly, I'm not sure which you prefer, but you are...
Either way, I usually Kimberly, but Kim's fine too. Either's fine.
Okay, well, Kimberly, whenever you would like to, you're welcome to share your screen and show us all about Quizizz Accommodations.
Sorry, I have like 5 screens open, so I'm trying to find the right one.
No, you're fine. Take your time.
It's none of these. Why is this not on here? Or hold on, let me move this over and then I'll move this over. It'll work. There it goes.
Perfect. We can see it now. Thank you.
Okay. I have 5 screens and like 500 tabs open. So hold on. So I actually presented at ETC for Quizizz. I did it for all of the kind of new stuff about Quizizz and then focusing on their new, the new stuff they added, because there's a lot of things that were added for Quizizz. A lot of AI kind of just helping teachers out, like kind of condensing the amount of times you spent actually making quizzes and setting up accommodation to meet your kids' needs. And there's flashcards now, and there's auto grading and all sorts of things. So I kind of condensed that very large presentation that I had into just accommodations, because for me, I think that might be a lot of what teachers need. So looking at the new accommodations that they have accommodations for question settings, reading support, and learning environment as a whole. Under question settings, there are things like extra time on the questions, reducing answer choices, participant attempts, redemption questions. For reading support, you have things like translating, and that's a ton of different languages. Reading the question out loud. It has fonts for any students who are dyslexic. It has font size and font spacing for anyone who has like a vision issue. Has a dictionary for bilingual speakers. And then for the learning environment, they have Don't Show Leaderboard, which is like about anxiety, as well as turning off the sounds. So I'm going to, there's a video. So hopefully I have the settings correct for this. You want to let me know if it plays or
not. We cannot hear it.
Okay, hold on. How do I get it so that you can hear it? I forgot how to do.
There's a little share bar up at the top that you might see, and there's like a computer with like a little speaker or audio icon. You should be able to click on that to switch to sharing your audio.
Okay, hold on. Share sound. Yes. Okay, hold on. Sorry, it's been a while.
No, you're good.
All right, check how amazing
Perfect.
Student accommodations are on Quizizz. So here's how it works, right? So when you log in, you assign a quiz, you have all these different accommodations. You can see here, you can give students extra attempts, you can translate the language, reduce their answer choices, you can make sure all the questions are read aloud to them, different types of font. There are so many different options here to give each student exactly what they need. And so what happens is you choose the students who need the right accommodations. So let's just say this group here needs these accommodations and these groups need different accommodations, okay? And then when you assign it to the students, they get the exact same link. So one student sees something like this, where it's all 4 options and kind of a normal quiz, where another student or group of students sees something like this, that has only 2 options, questions are allowed, and whatever other accommodations you want. It is so amazing for meeting student needs.
Okay, so.
All right, check out.
Sorry, now that I just backed out of that. All right, so one of the accommodations is text-to-speak. So if you have students who needs things aloud, I use text-to-speak a lot, especially with my EL students who need it read to them. So you can actually have it set up where the question is read aloud to them. Like if they can't read English, I do have this. This is like my #1 thing that I use in a lot of my classes, is because maybe they can understand English if it's spoken, but they have trouble for reading. So a lot of my students do have this text-to-speak where it'll read aloud their questions. If you don't like how the question's read, or if you want to add audio, you yourself can also record yourself speaking, and then the students then can answer the questions. So a lot of times, like if you have specific things that you want answered, you can actually record yourself speaking to put a question. Another thing you can do for this is video. So if you do a flipped classroom, you can actually use this as well for your flipped classroom, so that you can record yourself at home and put those videos on, and then have your students answer the questions, so that later on they have that information. Printing is also another thing. A lot of people don't use Quizizz because it's digital, and a lot of teachers want something that's printed. Also, a lot of my resource students go to take their test in another room, and sometimes they don't have access to their devices. So printing is a really good option for that. You can also print it using a variety of different things as well. So if you have students who need larger fonts, you can make the font bigger. Sorry. You can also have images for the questions bigger, as well as other things as well. You can just make it bigger for them. My favorite sorry, I'm like all allergies. My favorite thing that's new about Quizizz is answer breakdown. In the quiz, while the students are taking their test, you can actually have it set up to let them know why they got an answer wrong. And if you look on the side, it actually shows, it'll say the key idea of the question. It'll explain what the question is asking. It'll say what went wrong, so if a student got it wrong, and then it'll have a step-by-step explain the answer. What I really like about this is that all explanations can be generated automatically using artificial intelligence. So AI can actually go in and put all of this on your test without you having to touch it a minute. So I can make a 50-question quizzes for my class in less than 5 minutes with explanations, so the students know exactly why they got that answer wrong instantaneously, and they're not waiting until the end of the quiz, not knowing like why they got it wrong. And by the time they find out why they got it wrong, then they forgot what they did anyway. So this is instant response for them. It's instant feedback. It also allows them to take the question over so that they can get it right away. So it's like instant kind of reflection on what they got wrong and then how to fix it. I have a video there, but I was trying to kind of move along. If you want to go back and watch it, it's there. So what I did is I opened kind of like a mock-up so you can like go in and play with it. I tried it on my side, and the problem with mine is it shows my students because I'm logged in for Quizizz. So you can try it on your end. What you're going to do is you're going to join using that code. You can go to joinmyquiz.com and enter that join code, or you can just put in that URL code, and it's going to ask you to sign in. Just if you sign in using your Modesto City Schools credentials, it'll open up. And you can go in, you can play with the AI of how to set up a quiz. Yeah, hold on, I can put the code in. Give me a second. As soon as I can find it. So it's just a way to kind of go in and see yourself how to set up your accommodations. I use accommodations a lot because I have a lot of EL students. The majority of ones I do use is the translate one. I use extra time.
Can you put the code back up, please?
Yeah, I'm gonna put it in the link. Hold on. Actually, I'm gonna put this up and then I'll put it in the thing as well. And I'll put it in right now. So give me 1 second. I'll put it in. So you can play with that for a little bit on your own. And in a minute, I'll go over some advanced question types as well to also help with accommodations. Sorry, my computer is like really slow right now. It's like performance anxiety for my computer. Why is this not working? Hold on. It's probably because I have like 5 million windows open. Here's one of the links for you to go through. You can go through and just hit preview. And then I'll do the actual one in minutes. But like I was saying, I do use this a lot in my classroom for accommodations. I do have an awful lot of EL students. I do extra time. I do attempts. I set all my attempts to, depending on if we're reviewing, if it's a review quiz, I set it for unlimited, because the more the students see it over and over and over again, especially with explanations, they're going to remember it. It's going to be an easier thing to recall because they see it over and over again correct. And so later on when they get, yeah, I do unlimited for review all the time, because I mean, for a grade, it's great, but at the same time, like it's better to review. That way it's recall, it sits in their brain, and they're able to have it there. Okay, my other thing is not working. Okay, so I did link it. Hopefully that's working. But so yeah, so I do unlimited for reviews, and that way they're able to see it over and over again correctly, and they're able to kind of like make that change in their brain right away with the correct answer. And then it does streamline instantly into Schoology. So you can instantly make a quiz in less than 5 minutes using AI generated explanations, and then it auto grades for you into Schoology. So you take 5 minutes and you're instantly having something that you can give to your students and then go from there. It's super fast, it's really easy, and it provides you with much needed quick feedback. I use this sometimes if I'm just like, hey, I don't know how they're doing on this one particular subject. I'll give them like a quick quiz, and then I'm able to pull that information right away very quickly. And with quizzes, there's just a vast amount of library as well to pull from to help as well with the quickness. While you guys are playing with that, hopefully you guys all got on there. I'm just going to go over some of the question types that they have now, that some of them are new. If you are studying for benchmark right now, as I am, I use these different question types to help them get ready for the benchmark. So the multiple choice is kind of the lower depth of knowledge where everybody's used to. Most people use multiple choice. The majority of the quizzes everybody does is multiple choice. However, using accommodations and helping students who learn in different ways, you have different questions to meet those needs. So fill in the blank is availability there for students who may have like more knowledge that they need to put in that maybe just don't see the multiple choice. Drawing. So sometimes if you have a student who can't like explain it just by multiple choice, sometimes they can draw their answer or solve a math problem. Like maybe they can't do the fundamental like clicking of the different parts of the calculator. They can draw it. Open-ended is also really neat now because it's AI auto enhanced as well. So if you are a language arts teacher or an English teacher, you can have open-ended questions that will auto grade for you using AI. So you can make your quiz with AI, which is a thing you can do too. You can actually pull standards as well. So you can make your quiz with standards using AI in less than 5 minutes, and it will auto grade as well using AI. So it's super quick. It's super easy. It's just a really quick feedback of how things are going. Video responses I do use sometimes for my students who have difficulty with language. I don't mind if I have a quiz where it's kind of more open, where they're allowed to give a video response. That way I can see what they know. Like maybe they're not great on doing quizzes, but they do know the information. Maybe there's like a language barrier there. Whereas if they have a video response, they're able to explain what they know, where they can't like do the same with just a multiple choice question. So I actually found that when I use this more with my EL students, they have a better chance at getting things correct because they're able to tell me like what they know versus like taking just a quiz using like multiple choice. Same thing with audio. If you have an answer where they are recording their own audio, sometimes that helps them as well. Sometimes they're able to talk through the question a little bit better, that I can like know where they're getting something wrong or know where they're on the right path, that maybe they need just a little bit of help versus just multiple choice. Like it just tells you whether or not they just know the question, period. Using video and audio kind of helps you delve a little bit deeper to understand like what they know and what they may or may not be missing. I like polls. Polls are really quick. There's no right answer, just like do you agree and different things like that. Sometimes I use them for exit tickets to see like if something's difficult for them. This one I use for benchmarks because for our benchmark testing, we have match, drag and drop, and then drop down menus. My students, I was really surprised, especially since I taught computer literacy at the elementary. But my high school students do not know how to do testing stuff like this. Like they don't know how to maneuver tests. So I have them practice on quizzes in order for the benchmark that they're not like having difficulty. So for matching, they actually can match, which is along with our benchmark. Reorder, we have reorder questions as well in the benchmark. So it works on ascending and descending order to teach them that skill, just how to do it on a test. Drag and drop is the same. When I first started giving the benchmarks for social science, my students had the worst trouble with drag and drop. So I've been including a lot more drag and drops into their quizzes to help kind of train them of how to do that so that when they see that on the test, they're not freaking out. As well as drop down. So drop down is another thing that they were having trouble with for the benchmark. And so the more I have them practice, the better that they've been and the more comfortable they feel at actually taking the benchmark test. I also like it again because everything is auto graded. I know this sounds really bad as a teacher, but like I'm really lazy when it comes to grading. I don't have a prep. So having everything as auto graded as possible is really nice for me. Like I will go back and check to make sure that like it's auto graded correctly, but I don't 100%, just put every faith that it's 100% correct. But for the most part, it's never been wrong. And so it just helps me out as an educator, getting the feedback of what they're getting wrong or what they're getting right, and then instantly being able to then go back and pick up anything that I need to help recover, and then not having to spend so long just sitting there grading everything. Hotspots are really fun if you teach using images. So I use this for maps. If you're social science teachers, it's kind of fun putting a map there and then they have to like put the area. Oh yeah, I use this for test prep all the time. But for maps, like I've just used this particular hotspot for teaching about World War II so that they know where Poland was, because apparently high school students don't know where Poland is when you show them a map. So they're able to do it on the computer and they can actually see it. And they actually, it's also it's AI generated as well. It helps to identify automatically. So it also auto helps them with that as well. Labeling, same thing. I label maps using this, and it also is AI generated as well. Again, saving you time as a teacher by kind of setting that up for you. Again, that's not like, I have a kind of interesting view on AI. I think it's really good when it comes to like time management, as long as it's not like your only teaching tool, but sitting there hours after hours making independent like tiny questions on every single one of your quizzes takes forever. And I have 3 different subjects I teach. So saving that amount of time then lets me do other things that are just more beneficial for my students. Categorizing is a really good higher order level thinking as well. Okay. So like I tried to condense, because when I presented, it was like massive. So I try to just kind of focus just on accommodations. But Quizizz now, I don't know if you use it in your classroom. I use it every single day for a variety of different things. It's crazy because a lot of teachers think, especially the teachers I talk to, even at my own site, kind of just see it only for multiple choice quizzes that they give. But you can use it for a variety of things. And it's just a lot of ease for teachers. It takes a lot of pressure and like time management away from what you have to focus on. And it just makes everything just so much easier and more accessible for everyone. So yeah, I condensed it all. I tried. So does anyone have any questions? Oh, I have my email too. I'm in the district. If you have any questions for Quizizz, I am a Quizizz certified educator. You can also get that as well. You can go through Quizizz. I'm also certified for AI if you need any help with that aspect. But just a lot of different features for Quizizz. So thank you. Sorry. I think I went over my time too. Yeah,
Thank you,
Quizizz
Kim.
You're welcome. Quizizz is out a lot. Thank you.
Yeah, they've added so much since, I mean, we bought a district license with them not too long ago, and since then they have just added so much content. It's amazing what they're doing.
It's a ton, and they're really supportive. Like if you're ever afraid to like talk to a company, don't be for them. Like if you email them, they will like email you back and they will talk to you. Like they will continue to email you to see what you need, and they're really good like with teachers.
That's definitely good to know. But yeah, definitely if there is issues with Quizizz, let us know at the help desk too, because we want to make sure that if it's like an account issue or anything like that, we want to make sure that we are aware of it on our district side too. And that does bring us into our last presentation. I know we don't have a ton of time, but we did want to show you a new product as well called Adobe Express. And I believe Matthew Ketchum was going to present that. Matthew, do you want to share your screen, or do you just want me to flip through the slides on my end?
No, thank you, Alexandra. I'll share my screen and then I can do my little quick clicks. But no, this has been fantastic. Cami and Quizizz is, I would say, I will speak for our EdTech team. They're in our favorite EdTech tool list. And in our district, they're very popular. So Cami is in the top 5 most used apps. And that, I'm talking all apps. I'm talking PowerSchool, Schoology, anything you can click on, digital curriculum. So Cami's in the top 5 and Quizizz is in the top 10. That's a pretty good place to be. So they're definitely used in our district, and just learning more about the features and just seeing it. That's the whole meaning of this, right? How did they do that live is, how are you using these tools? What are some ideas of how you're using it in the classroom? So no, very excited for this session. Well, let me share my screen because I got some exciting news to share with you. Here we go. Guess what, everybody? You're the first get to hear this message officially. We shared it with our tech advisory committee a bit ago, but you're the first group that we've talked about in a PD. We're going to be announcing this in the Spring Bits and Bytes e-newsletter coming out in March. But we have Adobe Express back in MCS App Portal. So you may have known it before as a name called Adobe Spark. But it was a real easy tool to create a graphic or a video online. You don't need to download any software. It's just all on the web, but it's a fantastic tool. The only reason why it went missing was Adobe played hardball signing the student data privacy agreement. So I don't want to get in all the details because of time, but I will say MCS got a lawyer. We worked with the state of California with lawyers. We were really working with Adobe, and now they signed for the state of California and the nation. So Adobe is approved again. Okay, student data privacy compliant, and as such, it's back in the app portal. So I want to share a little bit about it. So Adobe Express, if you hadn't heard of it or tried it out yet or seen it, it's just real easy to use in the classroom, real quick. Teachers, students, staff can get to it in the MCS app portal. But it's really great tools to do a video, do some artwork, do an animation now with it. Has a little bit of AI generated image tool in it. But there's a lot of free templates. I'll show you some links here today for different subject areas and grade levels. Even has a classroom feature, so you can have your own students turn in work for your classroom through it. And they can submit their assignments through it. There's not a Schoology integration yet with Adobe Express, but at least the classroom part is built into it. Let's see. So how do you get to Adobe Express? It's in the app portal now. So you just go to MCS app portal, and if you just search for Adobe, it will pop up. It's in our EdTech tools folder as well. But if you click on it, you'll be able to log in. And if the login comes up with a screen like I have here, step 2, you might have 2 selections of this SETPA. That's a behind the scenes organization that gets us licensing to Adobe. So there we have 2 instances of this. We're getting that rectified, so we just have one. But if you have 2 options, it's the one without the hyphen. So SETPA without the hyphen is the correct one to log in. And we've noticed some teachers, staff, or students, they choose it and maybe their screen is blank. You might have to, on your web browser, just refresh your web browser until Adobe loads. But then you're in and hey, here I am. So when you first log in, on the right-hand side, you'll get these big boxes of the quick projects that you can start with. You want to make a video, you want to do a graphic, want to animate your voice with a character. But talking about, students sharing their understanding of the knowledge of their content, sharing their voice. Maybe they don't want to be shown on the screen. They can still have their voice and have a character. If you scroll down, you'll have these different headings that will have different areas. So like right here is the subject area that you can choose from, activities that you can do in the classroom. So as you scroll down, you'll get some template or lesson ideas. Also in the slide deck that I'll share out, you'll also have these links. So the template link right here, links to a document where they have ELA, Adobe Express templates, social studies, science, math. Oh my goodness, it keeps on going. Literature, writing, classroom culture. So lots of good things right there and ideas to start using in the classroom. Educator resources that we have linked on the slide as well. Takes you to a nice page that gives you different activities that you can do with your classroom and get started with. But there's a lot of fun things that you can do. It's very engaging. I think it gets students interested in learning the content using these tools to showcase their learning. So lots of good ideas there. And as always, we have our MCS Tech Help Center webpage. So on the district website that you can get to, so under staff and Tech Help Center, you can get to the different pages that we support. One of those pages, and it's linked in the slide, is Adobe Express for Education, where we have information similar to what I was sharing in the slide deck. There's some handouts, there's some videos curated for you already on the website. But we're very happy to have Adobe back. So you have Canva, which is free for education, and now we have Adobe Express, free for education. So I think if you like Canva, this might be the next thing to try out. Or if you haven't tried it yet, I would say go and click on it. You'll have fun. There's some really easy, quick projects that you can make with it. But we're back with it. I never disliked Adobe. I always liked them. Now they signed the student data privacy. And Alexandra, it's time, isn't it?
It is time. You went right up to the minute, which is fantastic. We are I'm just gonna go ahead and put up the very final slide here. Thank you guys so much. We had really great presenters this time, so thank you guys. Thank you, Dee, Jessica, Kim. Thank you all for presenting. It was fantastic, and thank you, Matthew. We have 2 more. How do they do that? It's coming down the pike. We have one in April, on April 1st. That is not a joke. That one's real. And then we also will have one at the beginning of May. That one will kind of be some end of year wrap up stuff. So we've got 2 more. As always, you can attend these as many times as you want. All I ask is that you take a quick moment to fill out this survey. And then as soon as you're done with the survey, you can pop off for the evening and stay tuned for that email letting you know I marked your attendance. And hopefully we'll see you back in April. Thanks and have a good evening.